What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm super excited to give you guys my review of the Air Jordan 3 Retro OG SP in the Seoul colorway. First off, I want to give a huge thank you over to Capsule for securing this W for me. This to me is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and it's a follow-up to the 2018 release, and that OG release celebrated the 30th anniversary of both the Air Jordan 3 as a model as well as the 1988 Seoul Olympics. So fast forward 7 years later and they're back. Some people are calling this the Seoul 2.0. And the first thing you probably notice about this pair compared to the original is that this newer version is given more of an aged and worn-in aesthetic, which some people weren't big fans of. But considering how difficult the OGs were to obtain, I think a lot of people are really happy to settle for this 2.0. So these dropped on May 17th for $200 or $265 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is white, black, and sport royal. And at least here in Canada, these seem to be extremely limited. Only a couple of boutiques got them as well as the Nike website, but that's pretty much it. So when you look at the secondary market prices on this shoe, it's really no surprise why they're fetching for that much over retail. So first things first, here's a quick look at the packaging. And as expected, this comes in a special edition box where the top lid is done in this cloud-like style with this red colored Jumpman in the center. The bottom half of the box has this very subtle elephant print finish to it, and it's done in this gray color. And inside the box, it comes with special edition paper as well. And when I first unboxed these, they were actually tied up in ribbon, which elevates the presentation and the whole experience of unboxing these shoes. So jumping into the details of the shoe itself, the majority of the upper of this sneaker is crafted out of a very tumbled, off-white colored leather. So this is more of like a sail colored leather, it's not like a pure white. Overlaid on top of this, surrounding the front half of the sneaker, we have another layer of this very tumbled leather, and you'll see how the edges of the leather are painted in this yellowish color, giving it more of that aged look. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have a gray colored suede panel, and the elephant print is etched away from the suede, almost like it's lasered out, and it leaves behind a slight yellow tint to it. For the bottom two eyelets, this is covered in this blue colored TPU, and then next to this, we have this perforated tumbled leather, and then the middle three eyelets are done in this cream color. And then the very top two eyelets, this is covered in a white colored TPU layer. Underneath this, we have more of that very soft tumbled leather, and then covering the bottom of the heel, we have more of that gray suede with the elephant print etched away from it. And then surrounding the top portion of the ankle collar area, this is covered in this blue colored material and has this vertical stitch pattern to it, giving it a bit of a quilted look and feel. And then on the center of the heel, of course, we have this large heel tab with Nike Air branding in black. In terms of laces, this pair only comes with one lace option, and they're a flat style off-white colored lace. Underneath this, the tongue is crafted out of a very soft leather. It feels extremely broken in, and it feels a little bit delicate to the touch as well. So the leather on the bottom half of the tongue, this is perforated, but the top half is left smooth, and then embroidered on the tongue of the right foot, we have a black colored Jumpman, whereas on the left foot, here you'll find the South Korean flag. On the back of the tongue, we have these Korean characters. So I'm not even gonna attempt to say it because I don't want to butcher the language, but according to the Nike.com description, on the back of the left foot, this translates to the word dream, and it represents aspirations, hopes, and the pursuit of something greater. Whereas on the back of the right foot, this character describes a deep emotional connection, a sense of affection and attachment, and the bond between people, places, and objects. The interior of the shoe, this is lined in a red colored textile that feels like velvet to the touch. This is a really unique material and it stands out a lot on this Jordan 3. And then for the insoles, these come with a polyurethane lined insole, and we have Nike Air branding pressed onto the heel in black. Hanging off the shoe, it also comes with this orange colored plastic hang tag with Nike Air branding. And then the upper of the shoe, it sits atop a polyurethane foam midsole, and like I mentioned earlier, to give it more of an aged aesthetic, it's painted in a dark cream color, and encased within this midsole, we have Nike Air technology underneath the forefoot, which is not visible, but it's visible on the heel through this cutaway exposing the Air unit itself. And then turning the shoe over to the bottom, this is your typical Jordan 3 outsole. So it's constructed out of this cream colored rubber, gray, and these rubber pods on the forefoot which alternate between red and blue between your left and right feet. And the inverse is true for the Nike branding on the heel, where it's red on the left foot and blue on the right foot. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, to me these fit like any other recent Air Jordan 3, so I'd recommend going true to size. I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, meaning when I go to a shoe store, step on a branding device, I'm actually a size 10 in between a D and an E width. So I usually go with a size 10 in Jordan 3s. That's the size I got with this pair and it fits me perfectly fine. So whatever size you normally wear for Jordan 3s, go with that same size. They're not gonna be as roomy as like the reimagined 3s, for example. So for the majority of people out there, true to size will fit you fine. Moving on to the comfort, so these feel like any other Jordan 3. So personal opinion, I find Jordan 3s to be quite comfortable for me, even though they're a shoe from the late 80s and there's nothing special about the technology. I guess it's just the way the shoe is shaped and how it's compatible to my feet. They've always felt very comfortable to me. So obviously they're not going to be as comfortable as a shoe from like the 2000s and onwards. It's very basic polyurethane foam with Nike Air technology. So generally speaking, it still is pretty flat and relatively firm underfoot, but I've always felt like Jordan 3s have a decent amount of cushioning underfoot, and to me, they're more comfortable than a Jordan 4. But if you're someone that historically doesn't like how Jordan 3s feel on foot, then unfortunately, you're not going to like these as well. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality on the shoe was very impressive. Everything from the leathers used on the shoe, which is genuine leather, the suedes, which are genuine suedes, it all feels really special, very premium, and very elevated compared to a standard Air Jordan 3 that you'd find at like a Foot Locker, for example. So the materials were good, and I thought the overall build of the shoe, at least for my specific pair, it was really solid too. The stitch job was pretty pristine, it was free of glue stains, and the panels were relatively consistent between my left and right feet. So all in all, it's great when Jordan Brand delivers high quality materials and execution on these more limited special collaborations. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and let's show you guys how these look. All in all, I think this is a very solid sequel to the original Seoul Air Jordan 3s. It's not as clean as the OGs, but obviously because of the look they were going for, it does have more of that aged aesthetic, but that allows this pair to stand out on its own and not just be a pure retro or replica of the 2018s. So I think that keeps the people that have the originals happy in that it's not a straight re-release, and it allows those other sneakerheads that didn't have a chance to grab the OGs to have something that's relatively similar. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Seoul 2.0 Air Jordan 3? What are your overall thoughts on the execution and the look of this shoe? Were you able to grab these for retail? Did you strike out and pick these up on the secondary market? Leave your thoughts down below and let's talk about it. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed my review, be sure to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts, all of that good stuff down below, so give me a follow there as well. And as always, thank you for the continued love and support, and I'll catch everybody in my next video.